Alright, this video is in partnership with Mslula hair. I have their blonde wig, and here's what comes in the box. It was so put together, like the presentation was on point. We have some flexi rods, a black wig cap, some info cards that tell you how to take care of the hair. We have some really nice lashes. We have some bobby pins, and finally we have the wig. Like the presentation was on point. I was impressed. So you get this little paper thing that comes in the wig. This is what the wig looks like. I know you probably can barely see it because of my white backdrop, but it is a lace front. It has a clip in the middle of the head, 2 on the side, and 1 in the back, as well as an adjustable strap so that wig is secure. So we will be dyeing the hair using a door dye. I will be using the 112 Indigo Blue and the 178 Royal Navy. And I will be mixing it in with this Aussie Total Miracle 7-in-1 conditioner. We will be using some Oil Sheen by Cantu Shea Butter, some gloves, girl, get you some gloves, a mixing bowl, of course. We will need a dyeing brush, bleach brush, an edge brush, a wide tooth comb, a rat tail comb, and finally some hair shears. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to put a plastic bag over my canvas head just to protect it from the dye, because I don't want to ruin it, girl. She knew, my sister got it for me. Thanks, sis. So I'm going to spray the Oil Sheen all on the frontal. This is going to sort of act as a repellent so the frontal does not get colored as I dye the hair, girl. So that is step 1. Next, I'm just going to brush the hair back, put a rubber band over it, and then I'm just going to cut it. And low-key, this cut came out so good. Like, low-key, I just found a hack, okay? A disclaimer, this is a hack to a bob, okay? Boom, the hair is off, and I just take the rubber band out, and look, it looks like an angular bob. Like, what? I didn't even plan this. Anyways, I'm just going to section off the frontal, because we're going to color that last, because we have to take our time with the frontal, okay? Put on your gloves, girl. Let's get to dyeing. Okay, so first I'm going to start off with the Indigo Blue Dye. I'm going to pour the whole bottle into the mixing bowl, and then I'm just going to mix it in with some conditioner. 1, to sort of shear it out, but not really, and 2, this kind of stretches the dye, and I'm just going to mix the 2 together. And now all I'm really gonna do, girl, is slap the dye right on the hair. At first, this looked purple to me. Like, I don't know if it looked purple to you, but it looked purple to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this purple dye? I was like, no, I wanted my hair to be blue, and for a second, I had to turn the camera off because I was about to have a breakdown, you guys. I was like, no, I really wanted blue hair. But no, it just looked purple to the eye, because I was like, does indigo mean purple? I was having a blonde moment. Y'all get it? Blonde moment. I'm just kidding, though. But it did end up being blue. So first I started off sectioning the hair, but you know, I'm no professional and I don't really have much patience. Okay, I have somewhat of a patience, but not really. So I started off sectioning it, but then I just took the clip down, girl, and I just started slapping the dye all over the hair. But you just want to take your time with this, because a door dye isn't really a chemical, and honestly it smells super good. Like, it smells like conditioner. It isn't a chemical, so you're not really damaging the hair if you leave it on for a long time. So just take your time, make sure you hit all the nooks and crannies of the hair. And dyeing blonde hair, girl, it's so easy. It just takes the dye so well, you know, you'll get a vibrant outcome. So yeah, just watch me slap this dye on, and I will check back in when we start on the frontal. Oh, side note real quick, I'm just using that rat tail comb just to brush down the dye in a way, like just so it coats every strand. So if I miss a strand, the rat tail comb just helps coat the strand, and it helps not have a patchy dye job. So if I put too much dye in one section of the hair and I just use that rat tail comb to comb it out, it'll prevent it from being patchy, and it'll just smooth it so the dye job is seamless and blended, girl. Alright, moving on to the front, I'm going to take that Royal Navy dye. I'm only going to use a little bit because we're just dyeing the roots of the frontal, because I sort of wanted to do a contrast of the blues, so it aided in a slightly darker rootage area, but not too dark, but noticeable, if you get what I'm saying. So I'm taking this edge control brush. If you guys have seen this, I think you can get it at Sally's. I will link it down below through Amazon, but I'm being very, very super careful when dyeing the frontal. I really don't know what made me think of using an edge brush, but I did, and girl, I'm glad I did. So I'm just dipping the brush into the dye, And first I'm focusing the majority of the dye that's on the brush to the center of the roots, if that makes sense, and then I will brush it in towards the actual root, because you don't want just a glob of dye to be on the root, because then it will get on the lace, and you don't want dye on the lace because then it won't look like scalp. You know what I'm saying? We want it to look like scalp. And plus, this frontal was already pre-plucked to perfection. Like, the frontal area was magnificent. I didn't even need to pluck it. I didn't need to do anything. Like, thank you, Miss Lula, for making my job easier, because I didn't need to do anything to the frontal. But you want to be very careful with this. So we have that layer of oil sheen that we put on the frontal, acting as a repellent, so that helps us out. But then you still want to be careful. So this is a very tedious job, you guys. It takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of precision, because you do not want to get it on the lace. If you want a nice lace front, if you dye your wig, if you don't care about having a nice lace front, then girl, just slap it on. But now I'm just being very careful. I'm just brushing the dye onto the rootage area, just the roots, because like I said, I just wanted a slightly darker rootage area, and the Royal Navy was a tad darker than the Indigo Blue, so it actually had a beautiful contrast. Alright, so I finished the frontal. Now I'm just brushing it back, and you can see that there's absolutely no dye on the frontal. Like, it still looks like a beautiful hairline. It's beautiful. And now I'm just going to finish off the dye job, going back in with the Indigo Blue dye and just finishing off the dye job, making sure I mix the Indigo Blue and the Royal Navy together where they meet, so it doesn't look like one starts and one stops. It just looks like a seamless transition from dark rootage back to Indigo Blue. And this is what the wig looks like, fully drenched in that dye. She's beautiful. I left it in for about an hour after this, and then I just rinse it out with cold water and wash it with shampoo about 5 times, girl. And this is what it looks like in its natural state. I'm just going to straighten it really quickly. And look at my cut job. Look, that was from me just cutting it with the rubber band. Like, it was perfect. It was like an easy bob. Okay, and this is what the frontal looks like. She's beautiful. Okay, do you see that? She's magnificent. So I'm just going to take this pretty in a minute flat iron, and I'm just going to quickly straighten the hair. I just did one pass because it was already straight. It just had a little bit of bump to it, a little bit of wave. So I just wanted to take that wave out. And I will say that this hair was on the dry side. Like, when I straightened it, ooh girl, she needed some moisture. But I did put conditioner in the dye, so it was conditioning as it was dyeing. But this hair was still dry, so it probably just was a processed blonde situation, but it still looked good. Do you see the roots, you guys? Like, look, it's seamless. Like, it's slightly darker. You see that, girl? Girl, I did a awesome. This is my first time like working with a frontal as far as coloring it, and I can't believe it came out this bump. Alright, and after I straighten it, I'm just going to go ahead and bump in the ends, girl, because we love a bumped bob. So I'm just bumping it in very quickly with the same flat iron. And this is what she is looking like. She looking real cute. I'm just going to go ahead and spray some oil on it. I'm going to take this OGX orchid oil just to give it some sheen and a little bit of moisture sealant because she was a little on the dry side. I'm just going to comb her in. I put the wig on off camera. If you guys want to see that, just let your girl know. But this is what she is looking like, y'all. I did blue brows, you know, just to be extra or whatever. I have on a yellow shirt just because the blue really pops off from yellow. And this is what the completed electric blue hair looks like. I will say my edges, they're a little crusty, okay, because I was having some technical difficulties laying down the lace. Okay, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Before I close out this video, I do want to go ahead and give a post notification shout out to Chocolate Coco. Thank you so much, Chocolate Coco girl, for having my post notifications on, for supporting me. I appreciate you so much. I love you, girl. If you would like an appreciation shout out in one of my videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel, of course. Tap that bell to be notified of my future uploads, and hashtag girl notification gang or squad after your comment. And until next time, always remember to serve, honey, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.